So it's January 25th, and it's a very exciting day for myself and for the entire IFCO team. We're in Windsor, South Carolina. We're in Aiken County, and we're standing on the newest IFCO nursery site. And to be honest with you, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. So I'm fortunate today. I'm joined by Doug Sharp, COO of IFCO Seedlings, Mike Coyle, our container operations manager, and Andrew Stewart, a genetic investment advisor that serves Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. So we're going to talk about several things today. We're going to talk about the nursery selection process, the site process. We're going to talk about the building out of the nursery over time. And we're going to talk about the significance to the state of South Carolina and the folks that we're here to serve. So, Doug, thanks for driving up to join us and chat a little bit. Doug's been part of building multiple nurseries through his career, and so we thought we'd maybe ask a few questions and learn a little bit here. So as we talked about and had a desire within the company to build a nursery in South Carolina, what thought process did you go through for this site selection?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different attributes you want for a containerized nursery site. Probably the first thing is the acreage that you needed, a big enough area. You want well-drained soils, and this is a good sandy soil, so it drains well, where water can run in easily. We wanted a good road system. We've got a blacktop road out here. We're not very far from the interstate. Interstate access is very important because we plan on shipping seedlings from all up and down the eastern seaboard. We want good neighbors. We want a location that there's not going to be a conflict with our neighbors that are close. We want a good workforce, and we've had that in South Carolina. So we've talked about coming to South Carolina for several years. And we looked really hard last year, and I looked at 20 some sites, and we found this site. This is the one we wanted. It had everything we needed.
I hadn't thought about it, but you mentioned neighbors, and we were talking when we pulled up on the site this morning. Mike made mention that he's had conversations with the neighbors, and they've been extremely welcoming to us and our company, and they're excited about what this nursery is going to mean for Windsor and for Aiken County and for the jobs that will be produced here. And it's kind of nice to be expanding pine production in this area. Doug, if you've been part of building bare root nurseries as well as container nurseries, had we sought out to build a bare root site, would the same attributes have been taken into account, or would have anything been different?
For the most part, yeah, we would. Soil is more important for a bare root nursery than a container nursery. But this particular site, this soil would work very well for a bare root nursery. If I was looking for a bare root site, I would probably want a bigger area than this. This is 105 acres. Bare root would probably want more acres because it takes more area to grow a bare root seedling than a containerized. You can grow about twice as many containerized seedlings per acre than you can bare root. And so we probably want a bigger site than this. But this site will do easily 60, 65 million trees a year.
We were fortunate to be engaged and involved, the sales team, in talking about where we'd like to have the nursery located, and so we're grateful that this site was chosen. It's going to be a really nice deal. So through the years, obviously you've built several nurseries like we talked about. What are some of the major challenges and maybe some of the major rewards through that process?
There's a lot of challenges anytime you have bare ground and you're going to build a facility. Doesn't matter really what it is, but number one is getting a plan together, making it work with the site, being adaptable for that site. Of course, you have your permitting process, and it varies widely depending on where you're going. But it's developing a site plan, finding quality contractors that can do the work for you. You need a good workforce in that area. So there's always those challenges, and every site has little nuances that you have to deal with.
What are some of the major rewards at the end of the day building out a nursery?
I think one of the major rewards is once it's in operation and you look back at it and people visit and they appreciate the work you've done, and you're able to see a nice seedling crop come out of that location, and the personnel you've hired and watch them grow and mature. It's very rewarding to see a finished nursery operation.
When this facility is at full scale, we may be 60 million trees at this location. It'll take years to build that to full capacity, but At that point in time, IFCO would be in excess of 350, approaching 400 million trees as a company. So no easy task to, one, grow and produce them, but also no easy task to produce enough seed to fill those nurseries up. Could you speak to IFGNS, our research and development and seed orchard side of the company, and kind of where we are and what it takes to keep these nurseries full with seed?
It's a big part of the equation,
Yeah.
because you can't grow a seedling without a seed. When IFCO Seedlings purchased 4 bare root nurseries in 2017 and another one in 2018, it was a major component of our growth strategy is to install more seed orchards across the South, and we've been able to do that. We call it orchard strategy, and we update that strategy every year. And over the last 5 years, we've grafted over 250 acres of new seed orchard. We've acquired 3 new seed orchards. We're leasing some more. So it's a major component, because it's not just loblolly pine or slash pine or longleaf pine. You have to have different provenances, whether it's Piedmont, coastal, Western Gulf, or whatever. So you've got to be able to meet all those needs of your customers. Yes. So it's been a major component of what I've done the last 6 years since I've been with IFCO Seedlings. And I'm very proud of what we've been able to accomplish.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to see the entire picture come together. Yeah. Orchards and personnel and nurseries and clients that begin to trust you with their business and then trust you with more of their business, and being able to be here at Windsor today to announce the breaking of ground at this facility is a big deal. It's pretty exciting. Yeah. Doug, thank you for your time, and we're going to take a minute to talk to Mike Coyle and then Andrew Stewart as well. Okay. So thank you so much, Doug. All right, so I'm joined by Mike Coyle, Container Operations Manager for IFCO Seedlings. Mike, appreciate you taking time to come up today.
Absolutely.
I think you actually meet with a contractor today up here to maybe talk about the kind of the build out process. And
this is correct.
What it looks like over time. So Mike's been with IFCO since
99.
And so he's been part of a lot of nursery build outs and expansions. Mike, the first expansion or first build out with IFCO, how many seedlings were you guys producing at that time?
At that time, the entire company was producing about 25 million seedlings
25
total.
million seedlings. So when this nursery is built out, how many container seedlings will be growing at full capacity?
You have to ask me that.
I did, yeah. So it'll be, I think I know the answer. I think we'll be almost 200 million trees, just containerized.
Pretty
be pretty close, yeah. So I think this year will be 36 million, somewhere in that range, and maybe add another 60. That'd be pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
So Mike, as we talk about this site, obviously I'm really excited because being from South Carolina, and folks have asked me for years and Andrew for years about, man, when are you guys coming to the state? So we're here now. So tell us a little bit about the work that's been done so far to get this site prepared for this expansion.
Absolutely, yeah. On this site, I think we closed on it in September, and Doug Sharp and myself immediately jumped on the bandwagon and hired some folks to come out and mulch up the property, what trees were on the property, and then it's been disc at this point, and we'll have a fence hopefully going up around the front of it here in the next couple of weeks, and then moving on to the general contracting and what's to be done with the warehouse.
Yeah. So speaking of the warehouse, we're actually standing right in the middle of the footprint of that building. So we'll have a nursery building, we'll have a cooler here. So we're pretty excited to be standing right here where we're about to break ground. Having a cooler at this location is going to be key because it'll be a distribution point for bare root seedlings. So Mike, how large of a cooler are we planning to build on this site?
This cooler initially will be able to outfit and run through roughly 5 to 10 million bare root seedlings. Actually, this winter we'll be running bare root and container seedlings through this facility.
Yeah, which is key. So this coming year, will be a distribution point, and then we'll grow our first crop in the spring of 23 at this location. So folks will be able to pick up seedlings here at this distribution point in the fall of 2022, which will be really, really nice. Mike, what are some things that you've seen through the years as you've built out some of these container facilities that will maybe inform how we build this facility out?
Absolutely. Being in the industry since '99 and developing and building, I think this is my 6th developmental build. I've learned in looking at the aspect of the size of the nursery, what size warehouse you need, what size cooler, how much dock space, how much facilities do you need at a nursery with this capability and capacity. So it's a lot to look at and try to put on paper and draw up a schedule of events of when things need to happen.
Yeah. One of the key parts of any nursery is the personnel, the people that run it. So I think we're actively in the process of looking at qualified candidates. When do you hope to have it fully staffed?
Hope to have a nursery manager on site here within the next 3 to 6 months. And at that point in time, we'll bulk up from there as the nursery capacity expands with assistant manager and then a grower and a contract crew as well.
Yeah. So Mike, I appreciate your time today to kind of help us think about the timing of when the nursery would be built. The one question I want to know is, when are the pivots going to go up and when are the benches going to be built so we can really begin to see it transform? What's your thought process there?
Absolutely. These days we have to draw back and say, when can we get the material?
Yeah.
You know, with COVID and everything, but I've drawn that back, and right now we truly expect to see pivots out here in these fields within 6 months.
Yeah, that's exciting. So we're excited to see the process transform and get our very first crop grown here in the spring of 23.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mike, thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, I'm joined by Andrew Stewart, Genetic Investment Advisor for IFCO Seedlings, based out of North Carolina, but he covers Virginia, North Carolina, and assists me in a tremendous fashion in South Carolina. So we wanted to take a minute and talk about the significance of this nursery to our clients and prospective clients. So you heard us make mention earlier, there's been a lot of requests through the years for a facility in South Carolina. So Andrew, what are you hearing from the folks in South Carolina as you make your rounds and talk to them about this new facility?
Yeah, Ben, this has been a long time coming, as we said earlier today. A lot of these folks that we work with in South Carolina here have requested our presence, and we're here. And you know, this is a very strong market for reforestation and forestry in general, very genetically driven, and we've got a huge client base here, and the problem has been logistics and now we're here.
Yeah. So we're actually standing on pivot 1. This will be the very first pivot in South Carolina that's going to be built. And so behind us you can see the vast expanse of this facility, and we're really excited to see it take shape, and we're excited to be able to go to folks in South Carolina and share this good news and be able to serve them the way that they deserve. So we covered a lot today. We had Doug Sharp here to talk about what it takes to select a nursery site, and Mike joined us to talk about the work that has been and will be done. And Andrew, I appreciate your time to talk about the market and the significance to the people of South Carolina. So we had a lot of fun bringing this video to you today, and we just thank you for your time and thank you for watching IFCO Edge.